Yeah, so we went to high school together as well, and
I remember in high school, like when we could get in the weight room, and that's when I try to like skip as much class as we could and go hang out in the weight room because Coach Pete always like let you in. Then one day you found the curling rack, and that's as far as you went.
Yeah, but all I did was curl.
All you did was curl, dude.
Yeah, I was 6 foot.
Were you a little top heavy?
Oh, I was. Hey guys, welcome to the Matt and Monica podcast again. This is episode 11, and it's nothing special. We just got some random dude here that we saw walking down the street.
Yeah.
No, seriously, this is my buddy Kyle. I went to school with him. We're gonna kind of talk about life with him because he's kind of a real dude, and he's been through some shit and lived a pretty cool life, I must say. But I wanted to start off and talk about how we met in, I believe, middle school.
Yeah, we probably met in middle school, and I think we probably, at least I can remember hanging out with you more and like speaking with you more when we were in high school.
Yeah, and ski club.
Yep. Ski club. Ski club was a lot of fun.
You guys get along right off the bat?
Yeah, we always been like acquaintances. Like we always talked and we're enthusiastic. I felt like to like see each other in school and shit like that. And one of my memories that just immediately goes back to is when we were at ski club. We were in line, and like I think he went to like Peter tap me, the thing that kids still do nowadays. Okay. And I'm like, dude, if you do that again, I'm gonna punch you in the face. And he did it again, and like not hard, but hard enough to the point I was kind of a dick. I just like hit him in the mouth. He's like, dude, what the fuck?
So
do you remember that?
No.
Really?
So before I met you, he told me that story like 100 times. Yeah, like, okay, a lot. But now it's funny because
Peter Tapping's my move.
Yeah. But so we went to high school together as well, and
I remember in high school, like when we could get in the weight room, and that's when I try to like skip as much class as we could and go hang out in the weight room because like Coach Pete always like let you in. Then one day you found the curling rack, and that's as far as you went.
Yeah, but all I did was curl.
All you did was curl, dude.
Yeah, because I was 6 foot.
A little top heavy.
Well, I was 6 foot something, going through high school, going through my growth spurt, and then I had little people that I won't even name names, but I had people half my size benching like 250, so I'm like, fuck that.
Yeah.
I remember coming in one day and you were curling 45s on each side, and I was like, you win, dude. Put it down. You should try something else now.
Yeah. Had no
You've gone as far as you can go with the curl. Yeah.
But, and I think like after high school, didn't really talk too much for the most part. Like, on and off, I think on like social media and stuff, just like kind of catch up a little bit here and there.
Yeah. Right? But, I don't think when we initially started like talking again was when I was working at the other dealership I used to work at, and you came in one day looking for a car, and we talked about everything but that car.
Dude. Yeah, dude, we sat there for like 2-3 hours.
Yeah, good while.
Wow.
The whole dealership was closed.
Yeah,
they closed, and I was like, don't worry about me.
I think I ended up going to your freaking place.
Then
and
you
had some drinks and shit and hung out. And
you called Monica. You were like, this is going to sound weird. But, ran into my buddy.
I'm gonna go over and hang out there for a while.
Yeah. But I remember specifically that conversation because I remember like there's some alternative forms of like opioid resolution.
Oh, with your sister.
Yeah, because it was before my sister died, like a few months, and you told me about.
It was right after my brother had died.
Yeah,
and we were talking about all sorts of weird stuff, and I was telling you about Ibogaine.
Yeah,
and I had heard about Ibogaine,
Yeah.
And actually from somebody else that we knew, like a family friend who had like the same, opiate addiction, and she took Ibogaine and, credited it with really saving her.
Yeah, you look
That's
up
crazy.
statistics online. It's pretty incredible. They got clinics everywhere but the U.S. It seems like.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but
Totally illegal here. I wonder why.
Yeah.
but we got catching up, and it's Kyle and I, unfortunately, I say unfortunate, but maybe we're fortunate in a lot of ways to share like something that's similar, and losing a sibling, because you do gain things from death, I believe. Unfortunately, it opens your eyes and it makes you appreciate things like you never have. But
Yeah.
for me, I'm not speaking for
Oh, yeah, definitely. Like, you take stock more in life and appreciate, when times are good, because,
yes,
Life is short, and you don't know what's going to happen day to day.
yeah,
no, that's,
Yeah, I remember I was talking to her and my daughter today, telling them about how you're going to be on this podcast, and I was just, I don't know how much you want to talk about your brother, unless you're an open book when it comes to that shit, like, talking about whatever what you went through, and but I just explained him, like, he was very, very close to his brother, and like I was closer to my sister towards the end, but more or less just trying to help her.
Well, you don't know what you got till it's gone.
Oh, yeah.
That's the truth. I realized like how lucky I was to have him, and unfortunately, he was my only brother, so
Yeah.
he's not here anymore. So it makes the family I do have all that more important to me. But yeah, Tyler was a beautiful soul.
Yeah.
A beautiful, beautiful soul, and he was he was just 2 tons of fun.
Yeah, that's everyone loved him, man. Like, I never knew him. Like, I remember seeing him around. I remember when I went to your house.
You missed out.
Yeah, I know.
You missed out.
Everybody said that.
He was the coolest, and he was just universally
ball of love,
liked.
from what I heard.
What?
You're just a ball of love, dude.
Yeah. Everybody, I know. I mean, when you when a loved one dies or something, you tend to think about the good times, and like you can, like, not with rose-colored glasses, but he was really just a genuine.
Arrow. That mutes the mic
Thank you.
if this light goes off. Which
Yeah.
the dog just definitely.
He had so many friends that I've remained in touch with after, and they've become some of my best friends. So like I'm blessed by that. There's so many stories that they've told me that I can't really mention because the statute of limitations hasn't run out on some of them. But he was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
With like stories and experiences from his friends, you still are kind of like connected in a way. Through his friends being your friends.
Yeah. We'll share stories and just laugh. And, you're just a sweetie, huh?
Such a weirdo.
But, yeah, he, a little bit about him. He was, loved the food industry, and he loved to cook. Like, he was a chef by trade, but he could, he worked in the beach, made pizzas. He made beautiful pizzas. And then, he worked up in Old Forge a lot, at a few different restaurants, and he loved plating and making beautiful dishes. And on occasion he would like sneak a dick into each one of his dishes, like with some sort of food, like whether it be like a little whipped cream topping. So like I've actually gotten over the years, like people have sent me pictures of stuff that he served them at the restaurant.
Arguably dick pics.
Yeah. It'd be like a chocolate souffle dick, or he'd hide it underneath everything so you'd get done with your whatever, and just be like a gold leaf dick or something in there. He liked to jazz things up a little bit.
Yeah.
One time, I'll tell you a funny story. One time, him and one of his best friends, they were working at this restaurant. It was a pretty fancy place, and up in the Adirondacks, you get a lot of vacationers, and like a lot of people who have money, and they've all got special requests, and be it vegan or whatever. So one time they had this couple or whatever came in, and one of them was vegan, so they wanted to make sure that nothing on the salad was, had any meat product or whatever. Well, they had, like, up on top of the rack, they had salad dressing, or what they thought was salad dressing, and instead of the salad dressing, he accidentally grabbed like the rendered down pork fat, and he covered that whole salad in it. And they didn't know until like after, and like they said it was the best salad they had ever had.
No.
Of course it was.
Wow. That sounds disgusting.
Yeah. Wow.
That's cool.
Whoops.
So yeah, somebody broke their diet that night. But.
Yeah, they just didn't know it. So
Not
placebo.
necessarily a bad thing. Maybe it changed your life for the better.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, since man, life can be difficult at times, but it gives you if you come out of it on the other side. Because for a long time I was, it was tough without them. But you definitely learn to appreciate life more, and I have a drive to to take care of my family, and I keep my friends close, and family is who you make it. So
yes,
I think I've actually gained family since then.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think a lot of times that tends to happen. Maybe family you don't talk to. On top of that, all of a sudden you're talking to, and kind of.
Yeah, some of his best friends are my best friends.
Your family.
I can call them. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yep.
I was kind of thinking to myself, and how did you? Because there's a lot of people that go through shit and they cannot handle it, or at least they believe they can. I think anybody can. It's just a matter. It's a state of mind. It's perception. How do you feel as if you were able to get better over the years? Because you definitely seem better. Not saying you don't still miss the shit out of him and stuff, but how do you feel like you've?
I'm lucky. I have a wonderful partner in life.
Yeah.
That she was there right when I needed her, and she always has been. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if anybody else would have stood by me like that, because I wasn't in a good way.
Yeah.
But no, Melissa, my other half, she is
pretty amazing.
Yeah, she's pretty amazing.
It was cool when we kind of started talking again after years of not talking or whatever, kind of going our own ways. And like hearing you talk about her is funny, because you're one of the few people I've ever heard talk about your wife similarly to how I talk about mine. And I don't understand that. Like, it feels like most people are just like,
it's different.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a condition of the society we live in now, or with the internet, like we've never been closer to so many people, and yet it's paradoxically kind of pushed us farther away. It's a lot easier to hop online and see what your friend's doing instead of actually reaching out and talking to them, or
like God forbid people calling on the phone. Like I'm one of those weird assholes that just I like to talk on the phone.
Yeah, I don't do well with text messaging.
Yeah.
I'll do this thing where like I'll get your text message and then like I'll respond to it in my head, and that's as far as I'll get.
I do that to her every day.
Yeah.
Every day. She'll text me something nice in the morning, and I will be in the middle of something at work or whatever, or I'll be in the middle of nothing. I'll be like, I'll respond like 2 seconds. Then get sidetracked and it's gone. I forget. And then, like 3 hours later, I see like multiple text messages from her that I'm just like, oh.
Yeah, but I know you're busy. I used to get really annoyed because I'm like, I know you're on your phone, because he is on his phone. I know he is, but he's busy, and I know his brain, and it's not intentional. So I'm whatever. If it's important, I'll call him and he'll answer.
Right.
But a text message, I don't expect him or anyone to immediately text me back.
Yeah. For a while, I didn't actually. After all that happened, and and then COVID, and I was furloughed. And I actually lost my phone one day, like working out in the yard.
Ugh.
And I I was like, oh, I'll see how long I can go without it. And I made it like almost like 2 years without a phone. That's why we text on Facebook, because I didn't have a phone for the longest time. I would just message you on my computer or whatever when I could. But that was
it must be kind of nice.
I was just gonna say, like, peaceful.
It was the most. When you don't have that crutch, like that's when I started like diving into like more creative things and like woodworking and you know, trying to find like an artistic outlet to, you know, work your way through whatever you're dealing with, you know.
Which is probably what we're all supposed to do in our lives.
Like, people may not know that are watching, like, he is incredibly good with woodworking, and he's an incredibly smart person, so I feel like he's able to adapt and do things that he pretty much sets his mind to. But
it might take me a year and a half, but I'm an amateur at everything, but like, I don't know, I like I started watching those like epoxy table videos, and I wanted to like try that. And you definitely, when you get into it, like getting into that flow state, it's therapy, you know.
It's funny you mentioned flow, man, because I keep hearing it, and it's been something I've been listening to on like the meditation that we've started doing, and like the guided meditation in VR. And I keep hearing flow state. And, you know, granted, I think I kind of feel what that means, especially lately.
It's when you're completely present in the moment, you know, like, man, my mind is always so like
scattered.
All the time, a million different places. I'm running a million different scenarios in my head, thinking of the future or whatever. And like, you know, that can like run away from you. But like, that definitely, discovering that I could like do something, you know, like, oh, I'll watch this video and maybe I can do that, and then find out that I can, you know. And it was when I'm like working on a project or something like that, hours can go by and like that, you know, and you're so into it that all of a sudden you realize like, wow, my mind is completely quiet right now. You know,
it's like a different type of like meditation almost.
It is like a meditation. It is a
like,
meditation. It brings you into the present. You know, and I don't think most people know what that's like anymore. It's very hard these days.
I agree.
We have so many distractions, and
people don't like to people want instant results, and they don't want to put in any work. And unfortunately, especially woodworking, that's a lot of work.
Well, it's like trying something new and going through it, because you're always like, people don't want to go through the hard times or whatever, and then look at your outcome when you're going through it, trying something new. It's like amazing.
No, and like this entire podcast, like I just, you know, it's definitely a new thing, but I like the creativity aspect of it. I think it's helped take my mind off of, you know, the adversity that we're, you know, arguably still going through. Arrow, go lay down. She's gonna go lay down. She's gonna knock the camera over. But and this whole thing is kind of gaining traction lately, and it's kind of, man, I'm getting excited because like.
Well, look at how fast it happened. The moment you decide to like, okay, I'll give that a try. It's almost like the universe just
kind of new
brings it right to you.
So it's funny you say that. And one of the things I heard recently is like our mind interprets our surroundings completely different than what's actual. And I know I love you diving into this kind of shit because you take a lot of interest in
mindset and all that. Like an interesting thought experiment is like, what if the universe is conspiring to help you?
Yes.
Yeah. You know, it instead of like the word, right. You have exactly, you know, whether it be the law of attraction or whatever you want to call it, or what it, in my experience, like when you really commit to something, it's almost like all you got to do is meet life halfway, and it'll take you on the journey, you know. But it's such a hard concept to hold on to.
I think people are afraid to take that jump.
Oh, it's
whatever it is. Like, definitely.
It's so scary to do new things. So scary to do new. This is scary. Like, putting yourself out there and everything.
I was telling him today, like judgment, it is so difficult to get past the judgment.
Right. Worried about what other people think.
Yeah. But it's people's comments and like feedback like yours and like you telling me like, I don't even remember what you said today. I'm not good at paraphrasing, but essentially saying something along the lines of like, it's, I've been watching or, because there's so many people that I have no idea that are watching because I got to remember how many people don't comment, don't interact.
Well, and, that's, I don't interact.
Yeah.
And it's specifically because like, if you're, it's easy to get drawn into like a negative, if somebody says something you don't agree with or you want, and I feel like you're just yelling into the void.
Yeah.
So like, I don't want to waste my time with that, but like,
you can like watch whatever you want to watch and take it in how you want to take it in and carry it with you.
Right. But I think why it resonates with people in podcasting and this and everything is because
it's authentic.
Exactly. It's what we all want to be doing right now. We all wish we were just chilling with our friends.
Yeah.
Hanging out, having a good conversation. It's so rare these days, like you called me today and I was like, well, man, if I can't make it down now, it'll be 3 months.
It's the first time I've heard your voice on the phone or actually probably since you came to the garage party at the beginning of December, I believe, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So it was probably the last time we talked.
Yeah.
But and I got thinking, I'm like, him and I unfortunately have, something stuff in common that's, hits at home, like I said, the whole sibling thing. But also, I think I take a lot of interest in people that are interesting. I think that sounds like a common sense type of phrase, but.
Yeah, but no, I know what you mean. Like, I was talking, like our friend Travis, right? That you just started. I was saying this to him before, like what you and Monica are doing right now. Like 1 + 1 does not always equal 2 because your collaborative effort right now is producing something that's many folds more than you can do on your own. Like that's something like I've realized in like the business world is like when 2 people collaborate, like we can get 10 times the work done that we could if we each individually worked on the same project, but not as a team.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like bringing people together and that's a good thing. It's what we all need right now.
Oh yeah.
It's amazing because I feel like since we started the whole podcast thing, like our web of like friends and everything has just grown, and our communication with our friends and other people that are strangers is just like grown so fast.
No, it definitely has.
It's crazy.
Yep.
Almost weird that you didn't expect so many people to like want to help
enjoy
you.
it.
I've had people call me literally like crying, like actually right off the bat too, like in the middle of the night, people I haven't talked to since high school, like, hey, like thanking us, keep doing your thing.
Yeah, we didn't think we would, touch so many people in such a positive way where they're like, holy shit, like I can relate to you and I want to talk to you. And I still have people texting me almost every day asking for advice. And I know he's the same. And it's like, wow, this is like really cool. Like people really want to know what we think would help them.
Right.
Yeah.
And like, it's a weird, like, oh, you want advice from me?
Yeah.
Like, I'm just figuring it out too. Like,
if you were to ask anybody on this planet, hey, I'm going to go to Matt Spellicy for advice like 10 years ago, people would have the exact same laugh that he just had.
Well, I think you kind of stop. Like we've had some like deep conversations, and you're getting into the power that like with AI and how it's a tool, and like so like we've had conversations about stuff, and I'm like, well, maybe this might be a good idea, and like you sent me that like. Basically, like the same things I told you to do, and you ask like Bard or whatever, and then we were like, "Oh my god, like you were right, Kyle."
Dude, you mentioned AI. I just wanted to say, how the fuck is Neuralink being tested on this first human subject? Like I think 4 days ago. Like how is that not everywhere? Like that is some fucking scary, interesting shit to me.
Yeah.
I want to know all about it. I don't want to do it.
People don't.
I
for those of you that
what
don't,
happens, and
I think
it's a brain machine interface. I believe it's what Elon Musk and Tesla. They also own the company Neuralink, which is installing these things they're connected. They drill. I don't know. Last time I looked, it was like a dime-sized hole in your skull. They remove the piece of skull. They insert this computer chip that interfaces directly with your brain.
Like how?
Yeah. But anyway, I just want people to be aware of what we're talking about. But
it's like movie, like sci-fi shit, like just crazy.
You've seen the rate of advancement? I think it was Ray Kurzweil, something like that, and they showed the rate of advancement, the progression of technology, and like it shows like once it hit a certain spot, it's almost
exponential. Exponential.
And it's like, where are we? We are. I feel like we're right before that straight up and down line. Almost.
Yeah, things are going to be getting real crazy real fast.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. We're moving at an incredible rate, Harry.
Yeah.
But like, imagine being able, so like what you're doing right now, like asking if you want to find out how to splice different scenes or whatever you're doing, and you're asking. Imagine being able to do that at the speed of thought. Like that's what it's gonna. Yeah. That's what it's gonna bring. And division of labor, like almost having like it's a digital assistant. You know what I mean? Again, like what could you do if you had a personal assistant following you around all the time?
Yeah.
Like that's what it's going to be.
But
on the other side of things, it's almost like you're going to have to jump into that if you even want to keep up.
I was going to say, you don't want to be left behind.
I think
that would be hard to survive.
Well, was it
in a world like that?
Sam Harris, we watched talk on a TED Talk, and Sam Harris said a whole class of MIT students. I'm paraphrasing horribly bad here, but an entire class of MIT students. It would I guess in 2 weeks if they produced AGI in 2 weeks rate of progression of AGI, it would be like the equivalent of like 10,000 years of an entire classroom of MIT students doing the similar amount of work. Right. That this would be able to do in I think it was 2 weeks or something.
Well, it has the entire collective knowledge of anything that's ever been digitized. It can draw from.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they're already seeing. You've seen that it's already learning things that they didn't program it to do.
Yeah. It's
probably
it's insane.
Skynet's coming.
Scary.
Yeah. I mean,
I almost kind of want to go the other way. I'll be the natural man in my loincloth.
Frolicking. Dude,
everything's normal and you're walking around, just show up to work in a loincloth.
I got a deer carcass draped over. Like, you guys want a leg? Backstrap anybody?
Oh, man. Yeah, no, I'm a little too interested in the whole AI scene, but I don't know. I think it's one of those things that companies they're gonna neglect to join it, and they're gonna be left behind wishing that they embraced it. Because there's really no other alternative.
You have to kind of keep up with everything.
Well, it's almost kind of like the great equalizer. Like that's what I don't like. If you haven't, when people I'll be at work or whatever, and they'll ask me a question and oh man, you always know the answer, Kyle. Well, I Googled it.
Yeah.
You can too.
Yeah. I'm getting better at it, but I'll be like, babe, how do I do this or do that? And he's like, YouTube it.
Right.
I'm like, oh duh.
Right.
But he's like, babe, come on. I'm like, I don't think of it,
100%.
So.
Yeah.
But yeah, you always tell me to do that.
Yeah.
And you always do it. And then you learn shit. Stuff that you have no idea how to do anything. You YouTube it and
I was laying in bed the other night and I realized that technology literally has been able to be able to improve every aspect of people's lives if you use it correctly.
Yes.
I think that's the key thing. Because you can
use it correctly.
Anything in moderation, including the technology. Because if you sit on your phone all day, you don't get out of bed, you don't get exercise.
Yeah.
But on the flip side, you could then Google the most efficient exercises. You can Google and
for
look
your
up
lifestyle.
Yeah, you can look up the best diet and best natural supplements, which I actually have been doing.
Is that that's like Melissa and I are like, that's where we're at in life right now. Like we've hit our mid-30s and like, all of a sudden we're like, wow, maybe we should start taking some vitamins. And, I really, you're never going to be this young again, So like we're kind of, we just talked about that today. Like
you're a big mushroom connoisseur when it comes to, a lot about all that shit. And
I had the time to learn it when I was not working.
A lot of people have time to learn it and they never would though.
Yeah. Well, after, with COVID, that turned into, because I got furloughed for 6 months, and then I was like, you know what? I had money saved from a 401k and stuff, and you read a couple articles on the internet, and I was like, I'll try that early retirement. So I actually retired for almost 3 years.
Damn.
And
I want a 3-year vacation.
Yeah, right. Me too.
Well,
I want to do it with you.
The money ran out, so I had to go back to work, Matt. So that's how that. So my advice to you in retirement is to have some hobbies. You're gonna be bored. Mm-hmm. I don't know if I could ever really that whole kick your feet up on the beach a couple days here and there, but I got to have something to
active.
do. Yeah. So when I was not working, I was doing a ton of yard work, and I was learning about all the plants, every single plant that grew in my yard, and so with mushrooms and stuff like that, the plants are medicine. Every single plant, or almost, I would say 90% of all the pharmaceuticals we have, there is a natural source of that in a plant.
I feel like everything,
less adverse effects.
Everything we need when it comes to healing, etc., is already on Earth for us. Mm-hmm. That's how I feel.
Why would they not want the public to, depend on natural stuff that grows around us every day?
Well, that's where it gets crazy. Is you can't patent an alkaloid or a molecule, but you can patent the delivery method. So that's all. That's the whole business model of big pharma, is they take something that you could find in nature and put it in a pill form or make an injection or something like that. But I'm telling you, you look into it and there are so many chemicals that they're in your backyard.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Instead of taking an aspirin, you can go down to the creek and find some willow bark and chew on that, or we go and we'll find chaga in the woods, or we love to hike around Forest Park. Forest Park's got an incredible array of mushrooms.
Oh yeah,
really?
Oh yeah,
I never knew that.
Yeah, my middle child's he's kind of a naturalist. He really all he does is watch YouTube videos on reptiles and so.
That's cool.
That is cool.
Yeah, until you wind up with a terrarium in the back seat of your truck like we did the other day.
That's cool.
So, and then now we're going to an expo in a month.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So next time you come over to the Bangs household, make sure you pet my spotted cobra.
Yes.
So not the first time you told me that.
Hey, now.
Oh, man. Wow. I am comfortable. A lot more comfortable than I was last night. Because last night when we recorded episode 10, I was right here and I'm leaning forward. I couldn't lean quite all the way back. So I like to set up a little better.
It's nice in the garage mahal.
Yeah.
It'll be nice in the summertime when it's warmer.
Yeah.
And
then we wouldn't be able to have the fire.
We can still have a fire at night. In the summer, it's getting cooler outside at night.
We wouldn't be able. I mean, you'd have the wind and the cars driving by. It would ruin the podcast. But anyway.
Yeah.
Such a negative Nancy.
No, we tried that already.
So we were talking about that, how I annoy him with my positivity.
Annoy is
not going to happen.
No.
The wind.
We had
cars. Yeah. You do it.
We had a meeting with Nanea Reeves last week, Monday night, which I've talked about a couple different times, but I'm pretty excited. She's the CEO of Trip Inc., which is a VR guided meditation app that we both been using. I use it, I would say, like 3 times more than she does.
Yeah.
But anyway, we, for reasons I don't know if I'm able to discuss fully yet, we talked to her for about 45 minutes last week or so. And
we're continuing communication with her.
And it's pretty exciting because I didn't realize who she was and kind of how big she was until after she actually collaborated with me a little bit and talked back and forth. But I was just randomly, I was on LinkedIn and I'm like, I'm going to leave some honest feedback for her product because I love it. Mm-hmm. And like, I've been doing that for years. I leave feedback for, if I go out to dinner, lunch in a mom and pop shop, I try to leave them a Google review. I left a good review for the company you work for, which I won't name. Well, I don't know how that shit works. But, and needless to say, I don't know. It's pretty cool to see how real this individual is. I watched.
When we were talking with her, she's just so easy to talk to.
Yeah.
And just so kind and real. And I really enjoyed it. I feel like I could talk to her for like ever.
Meditation it's exciting stuff. And it's funny, man. Like, you never set enough time, like set aside time for it. But like, anytime I've ever done it, I've never regretted that.
Dude. Yeah. And you haven't tried guided meditation.
Oh, I have.
VR?
I haven't done VR, but I've done, what's the one, Headspace.
Okay.
I've tried that before, which is actually, I think it's on Netflix now, but I had the app before that, which they're probably still charging me for. I should look into that. But yeah, anytime, like a guided meditation or just meditation in general, like, again, like it quiets the mind, you know? And like my mind is so busy all the time. I don't know about you, man. I'm such a night owl.
Kyle.
Like his brain.
Dude, I'll be stressed out and I'll use that. And when I'm done, I go from like stress to the point I'm like, just annoyed by everything. And I'll use that. And it's not like it's taken some of the load off. It is gone. I mean, gone. Right. Like not even there a little.
It's not, the opposite. Like you feel good.
Yeah. In what people would do if they actually like had some sort of like experience with it. Because I've told a handful of people about it, and I feel like it's one of those things like, oh yeah, sounds cool. And like they're just not listening. And I just wish I knew about it sooner because there's been times in my life I could have used it earlier last year when I was going through my really difficult days. Oh man.
Well, just like breathing
exercise.
Yeah.
Breathing. Yes. Like box breathing. I'm sure box breathing. And it's funny, like you say, like other people, right? So I'll start like doing some deep breaths, get my Wim Hof on, and like, you okay?
So you said a word, I don't even know what I mean. Wim Hof?
You've never heard of Wim Hof?
Oh no, I'm about to be
Iceman. Like you guys do the cold water plunge.
We've done it twice. We don't do it. We've done it.
Oh well, yeah. How good do you feel after you get out?
Incredible.
It's like I'm not even like cold. I just feel so rejuvenated.
So good. High on life.
Yes.
Like you feel so good. Yeah. Wim Hof they call him the Iceman. Mm-hmm. So Wim Hof has like mastered breathing. Okay. And he has the Wim Hof method. And he is like, you could pretty much credit that guy with any sort of like ice bath, polar bear challenge, all of these people. It started with Wim Hof. Wim Hof climbed Everest in shorts.
Oh, wait, I saw a video. We saw a video about that guy.
Wim Hof.
With no shoes?
With no shoes and shorts, climbed Everest. No oxygen.
What the?
And he does it purely by hyperventilating. Oh, dude, you got to watch him, man. He's like, there's this one, watch this one podcast, I think it was called London Real, and the guy's like asking him, he's like, what's your method? And he's like, breathe, motherfucker. Like, that's all, you just breathe in and out, in and out, in and out. And you're just, because people don't breathe really anymore. Like, when's the last time you took 10 full breaths in and out?
Oh, yeah. Like, how many people go, like, how many people can say like when we go running and like, well, I'll randomly sprint sometimes and we'll sprint. I'm like, how many people can say that they haven't sprinted in the past like 10, 20
Since
years?
like high school when you're in gym class.
That's a statistic I just saw. Like the majority of people, I think it's like 99% of people will never sprint a day over 35 years old.
Stop, really?
Like, could you imagine?
No.
Like, so, like the moment I heard that, I'm like,
I gotta go.
So there's going to be people that heard you say that now that are going to literally run because of that.
Right
yeah.
now.
But like at a certain point, you're going to do something for the last time in your life, you know?
Yeah,
so like I am, Melissa and I were just talking about this. Like I've gotten on a health kick before. I've gotten like, you know, like results, like it's been so long since I've done that. And a lot of it's to do with like work. And then like you get done with work and you're not utilizing your time correctly. Like I'm sure this is, what would you be doing right now? Doom scrolling?
Yeah, probably.
You know?
Yeah.
So like if you can't get away from the internet, like instead of consuming content, create it.
Dude,
you know?
Eddie Pierno, he's got a podcast. It's called Your World Within. I talk about it almost every fucking episode, and I hate it. But I want this guy to reach out to me. And he's responded to my emails and stuff a little bit. He gets 100,000 views a day because he releases a video every morning because he does it full time. And he's doing incredibly well for himself. And like he talked about jogging in the afternoon and feeling guilty. Well, when I was in between jobs, a month and a half ago or so, I remember it was like 3 p.m. or maybe a little earlier, and I was jogging with my dogs, and I'm just like, everyone else is working right now, and I'm like, I'm loving life.
Oh,
but yeah, it's just incredible, and it got me thinking. I'm like, man, I want to do that one day. Like it's not that far fetched either. I think if we keep putting in the work, like I'm all excited about. We got new thumbnails. You know, I got this Filipino guy. He's really cool. His name is Ju. He's been helping us out a lot. And he seems like he genuinely believes in our content for some godforsaken reason. And he's, and I pay him here and there, like probably not a fraction of what I should be. But I said to him, like, listen, one day, like if this does take off and you help me,
and you take them with you.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what we were talking about. Wealth, where like true wealth is like, the people you have in your life.
Your friends,
and I said to her, I'm like, can you imagine doing this? Like talking to somebody, having a conversation, and it helping other people get through life and their difficult things. And like, imagine doing that for a living. Imagine making content. And like, imagine being able to have our cup of coffee like we like doing on the weekends every fucking day and us working out together. Because I would work out 7 days a week. I say that. I would commit to it. Maybe not my whole life, not every day. But I would do it 7 days a week unless I was sick or something. And, But
it's just getting that feedback of someone being like, hey, I took your advice and it worked. And then you're like...
Travis, he's freaking like, he's super motivated and it's motivated me. And like...
Yeah, man. I'll tell you, that kid is... He is...
Striker steel.
When I talk to him, I'm like, I am so dumb.
Yeah. Dude, he was talking to me about a CNC machine.
So I'll tell you don't mean to cut you off.
No, you're fine.
I got no stove right now. So our stove went out. I bought a stove at Lowe's.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, you want the install? Like, install.
Yeah.
Myself, right?
That would be him.
Yeah. And then I got into it and I'm like, I am going to blow myself up, right? So I called Travis and he's like, man, I've never done gas before. Hold on. I'll call you back. 5 minutes later, he called me back and he went line by line and told me every single step I needed to do and how to get it done.
Yeah.
And I was like, Trav, thank you so much, man. Wow. And I hung up the phone and then I drove to Lowe's and I bought that install. But it's the thought that counts. Just being like having that kit. The table that I made for you guys, like when I was trying to figure out how to attach the legs. Yeah. Guess who I called?
Really?
Travis.
No shit.
Really?
And he had the tool that I needed. He had a jig. He showed me. I didn't even know what a jig is. Now I know what a jig is. A jig is like a special tool that you use for a special job. He had it. Yeah. And he showed me how to like do it. And like, so he's
that's so cool.
Yeah, that boy he's so super smart, and anything he puts his mind to, he can just create amazing stuff, and I think he's incredibly talented, and I'm glad that you
we
guys
want to help him every way that we can.
Well, that's what it's about.
Yep.
It is. Yeah. And that's kind of what I want to.
I think that's what we all need to do. Like 2024.
Yeah.
Let's help each other.
Everybody support each other.
Right.
Yeah.
Without wanting anything in return.
Right. Because you're going to get it back tenfold.
Dude.
Exactly.
That's the thing. Like, and I talked to you a little bit about my idea, but I want to support local business, and I've reached out to I think five or so different people, and everybody seems to be on board. I need to pull the trigger and do it, and market for these local businesses, and in turn, I'm not going to make any money off it. I'm just going to get views, which will hopefully
you got a
help
topic of discussion.
Yes.
Yeah.
You got like what's who else are you going to talk to?
Yeah. Well, and the thing is, I got to leave only for people that are genuine good. Some people that are enthusiastic, that have a genuine interest in whatever their product or whatever their business is.
Right.
And we want to make sure that we've been there or have used the product or whatever. It's not just some random local place around here. It's like we want to love.
Right. You found some value out of it.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. Like, so it's so people, when they know that we talk about it, it's because we really believe we had a great experience there, which when it comes to restaurants and stuff, that kind of sucks because every once in a while somebody says a shit meal. And, so there's going to be those times where we may not enjoy an experience, may not want to give a positive review, but we're not going to do any negative at all.
Right. Just highlight something that you, Yeah. Well, and think we're so many, of our friends or people in our age group, it's amazing to see how everybody's turned out. And
it is.
Where what direction you've gone in, and
I never would have done this shit ever.
How many people?
Well, you were always quiet. We were both very quiet. I kind of came out of my shell
quiet in comparison to people that are loud, but
we weren't social butterflies by any means. We weren't even really close because you had a tight circle of friends. I had my friends, and we were always hanging out with Timmy, that crazy guy. That's what I love about what I do specifically is the thing I enjoy most about my job is I get paid to shoot the shit with people.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that's why you do so well at it, because you're real with people. And I think if people feel like they're doing business with you or doing a sale with you, and they know, because you can talk to somebody within 30 seconds. I know if somebody's full of shit. I feel, I can just tell.
Yeah.
And that's why I know, if I...
Well, I am to enthused. I strive to, that's, if I got to be stuck at work for 12 hours, I got to find some sense of satisfaction out of it. And that's what I love about, I'm in sales.
Yes.
I sell houses and I sell cars.
Yeah.
So if you need either one of those, I'm your guy.
Seriously, man.
But that's, I love that about sales is my personal, approach is when you come in, I'll talk to you about everything but the car. I'm genuinely enthused to how are we connected, or what do we have in common, or who might that I know, and I've made so many friends out of true friends that started as a business reaction. So I guess you could say I'm pretty good at that.
Dude, imagine if every car dealer or car salesman was like that, and people didn't feel like they're trying to fucking bullshit them. And
customer service is largely dead for the most part, and I don't know if that's just with the new generation, or I think we all kind of have noticed it, especially since COVID, all of a sudden people just stopped caring.
Yeah.
It used to be you could go into Lowe's and there was an expert there that could help you out or point you in the right direction, and now trying to even find somebody.
Yeah, you gotta go search for help.
Yeah, I had good mentors growing up. I grew up in that store across the street.
Yeah, I know. I know you did.
That was my grandfather's place. So and after school every day they watched us. So I literally grew up in there, and that's all my grandfather did was talk to the locals, and
that's so cool.
So that was
makes them want to go back. That's for sure. Get a good relationship.
Yep. Yeah, I want to support those mom and pop shops like that. I should go down there and talk to them too. I mean, they got some pretty good food. We had a fish fry from there the other day.
You know who I just stopped into the other day, which you probably drive by every day, and is Embers. Have you seen that? So right down the road in Vienna there, there's like a little store that opened up. It says Embers. They got a big bear out in front of it. They're a local little store, and they kind of cater towards the camping crowd.
Oh, so they're the red building up on the left.
Yeah.
I
was just in there the other day. Come to find out, like the lady who runs it and her husband, she was my babysitter, like way back when.
Really?
And I was like, look, so there's a lot of like campgrounds and stuff around here. So they're like, I
drove by them every day of my entire life, pretty much,
and never would have stopped in, right? Well, they got a deli, they got beer, they have like anything you could want for like your weekend here. Whether it be fishing tackle or whatever.
Okay, interesting.
I even saw a kid I know from way back, a buddy of mine. He started they have like a laser engraving business, and I just saw their products in there, and I was asking the guy about it, and because we were me and my boss, the owner of the dealership, were there discussing a car sale with the owners of and I was like, oh, you know these folks, you carry their, and he was like, oh yeah, that stuff sells really well, and I was like so happy to hear that. I'm like, oh, there's another guy I know that's like, I took a dive into something, and
that would be a perfect little business to probably try to support and do like paid advertising for.
Well, check them out. It's Green
I'd love
Gifts.
to do that for them.
They're based right out of Vienna here, right down the road. They make incredible, relief maps. Like, say you want a picture of Oneida Lake, and it's all engraved. And
Sweet.
Dude, I'm going to literally take a short of this part of this podcast if you're okay with it, and I'm going to use that. And hey, I'm going to show them the short, but like, listen, I can,
check them out.
Cool.
Green Gifts.
They're open all year round.
I think you can like special order stuff from them online, but if you guys, the next time you're driving by, take a stop in Embers, and you'll see they've got I think right now they got a display. It's like a relief map of Fish Creek.
Really?
Yeah, we should definitely stop.
Yep, definitely.
And definitely support them.
Mm-hmm. Man, that'd be cool. That'd be so neat to do something like that.
That's the cool thing about, like, I think we live in such a cool time right now, like with technology progressing so fast. Like the things I like that you like dreamed of as a kid, like what if I had this machine that could like make anything I want? Like
3D printer.
We're there. Yeah, we're there.
Yeah. like living through this time right now is
like what if I had access to the entire library of the earth? You're like right at my fingertips. Remember like going to the Dewey Decimal System? Like,
or your teachers always saying you're not
going through a Rolodex? Like kids nowadays, they don't know the struggle.
No, they don't.
We had phone books.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
My phone was attached to the wall. There was a cord.
Yep.
I remember staying at my grandma's house, and like somehow she got crossed with a party line. So you like pick up the phone, and there's somebody down the streets having a conversation. I'm listening in. I was a mouth breather as a kid.
Or your sibling answering the phone. Or like picking it up when you're on the
remember
phone.
that? I don't know if you ever had to deal with that.
Oh, dude, we didn't have so whether you call us Zennials, the first millennials, like the 87, 86, 87, that era, like think about how we started off life. Like we didn't have the internet, at least I didn't growing up, like until I was 13 or 14. Yeah, I think I was in middle school.
Yeah.
Didn't have the internet. We had the Oregon Trail.
We did that.
On 3.5-inch floppy disk. It was like the size of a piece of plywood. You had to carry it across stick it in there. Remember Carmen Sandiego?
Yeah, absolutely do.
Just some girl you had to figure out where in the world she was.
That was actually, I like that.
Yeah, it was so much fun. Yeah. Oh man,
dial up. I remember at my dad's house.
And then somebody picked up
and I'm like, it's like late at night. Yep. I was always nervous to turn the computer on.
Waiting for a page to load. Like,
Oh my gosh.
Remember
or like the paper that would like.
Yeah. Remember America Online? Do you remember those discs that used to like come in the mail all the time?
Yeah.
It'd be like CDs and they just every single time. We just shot those with BB guns all the time.
Burning they make music.
Burning LimeWire.
Yeah.
Stacks of like CDRWs.
Is it Kaza?
Kaza,
yeah. Oh my gosh, it's so funny.
Yeah.
Oh, kids have no idea nowadays how
you're about to send your parents to jail for 20 years so that you could listen to Chumbawamba.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Good times. Actually, it's funny. We had someone on the podcast who was it them? No, maybe it was just one of our friends that does TikTok. I think it was Josh. And I saw he had a CD holder like on his visor. I'm like, you have a CD, like you listen to CDs still? What? And that was like recently.
I think that like everything goes in cycles. And if you were smart, you would be like, physical media is going to be like a rare thing.
Yeah.
Tapes are coming back right now.
Because everything's
people are big into cassette tapes. What do you think's going to happen in 10 years? CD, like disc, like the whole experience of remember going to freaking Best Buy or like
the FYE.
Yeah. That's where you could get the unedited stuff.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
I remember getting the first, it was I think it was like 1999. I was in middle school and Korn came out with a new album, and my dad brought me to FYE and bought me the one like the parental advisory sticker was on there, right? We put that thing in.
Oh my gosh, it's funny.
And we listened to it like all the way home. And
your dad too?
Yeah, and Dad goes, so we're not going to tell Mom about this.
That's awesome.
I love it.
Oh man, Korn, man, that brings up memory. My brother loved Korn. I
freaking love Korn. Yeah. To this day, I love Korn.
You know what's funny is like listening to 90s music just gives such a visceral reaction to me because it's like the music of my childhood. But man, it just gives you chills. I listened to Limp Bizkit the other day, and like, you know. If you liked Limp Bizkit when you were a kid, like it puts you in a certain crowd. That music is awesome.
Yeah, dude.
It is so awesome.
100%.
I still listen to it now. It's on my phone. It's on my phone right now.
Limp Bizkit DMX.
I remember your wedding.
Gosh. Oh yeah,
you guys walked out to Rolling. I was like,
oh yeah, all right. Dude. That took honestly. That was one of those moments where I was worried about judgment. Like, it's my fucking wedding.
Mom and Dad.
Yeah. Like we walk out to the Braveheart music. It was all beautiful. I think Secret Wedding is the name of the song. Yeah. Walk out, and have the session with my buddy Sergeant Kinney. Which shout out to Sergeant Kinney. He's episode 2, combat medic in the Army with me. Anyway. And and we for our walking out after we did our vows and all that shit, and
keep on rolling, baby.
Keep on rolling, baby.
That's so awesome.
People are just probably like, okay, it's just so them.
Yeah, yeah.
That's one thing I want to see more live music events this year.
I do too.
Dude, I had fun seeing Jim Brewer with you. Like, I had so much fun.
Wasn't that? Oh man, that guy is an incredible storyteller.
He seems so real.
He is. That's exactly. Did you not get chills listening to? Like, he was saying shit that you only dream of saying.
Yeah.
It's
we can't say it.
Like, what happened to us? Like people forgot about freedom of speech.
Yeah,
they really did. Like.
Okay.
If my platform ever got big enough to the point I didn't have to worry anymore, that's my dream.
Well, that's
my dream.
Yeah,
that's what happens.
Dude,
eventually, you don't have to worry about that.
If I ever,
you said, so I presented a proposal to him at work. They didn't say no. I'm like, oh, they said no, Matt.
I hate you so much.
I've been there, buddy.
I know.
I've been there.
I know.
Like, you wouldn't be where you are now if it wasn't like.
Yeah. No, you're right, man. You're 100% right.
It's only crazy because it didn't work.
Yeah.
Dude, I shit you not. Like, 2 days after you told me about that, I read this article about optimizing healthcare with large language models.
Shut the fuck up.
Like, how it was going to be the forefront of. Yeah.
course.
Oh man,
So,
it's all good.
They could have had you, but whatever.
Yeah.
Oh well, better
It's all
now.
good.
Yeah, we're on to bigger and better
Yeah.
things.
Dude,
Bye.
I have half the drive. I work less hours, and my coworkers are. I mean, I enjoy my last job too, but I work with my best friend, and it's just cool. You know, it's weird how things work out so incredibly well.
When you feel
What
like
do you think
it's
is a
the
bad
end.
thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you think you can't do, like, it's just life is.
Stay positive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, like you're not gonna, like, the future will show you how, like, what you thought was a bad thing has actually, like, put your life in a different direction.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I haven't disclosed this publicly or anything, so I'm not gonna go into detail, but like, since I remember the day, like when I was let go, I remember coming home and like she was like way more worried than me, and I was like, no, I'm good. Like,
Way more worried.
I have plenty of things lined up. Like, I'm good. And she's just because the year I had last year. So many people knew like how much shit I've been through.
I feel like for me, like, I was so worried. Not that you couldn't, like, find another job like you did and all that kind of stuff. It was like you mentally and physically and stuff. Like, I wanted to make sure that you're okay. Because you already had so much shit on your plate. I'm like, what else do you
I don't know
need?
what you're talking about.
But that wasn't like just a small thing that happened.
I don't
it was a
cry
big
myself
thing.
to sleep 3 nights out of the week.
Yeah. 3.
Totally normal.
You're doing good. Oh, man. Yeah. But it's funny because like somebody was talking to me, and actually I like that saying, like, you're like, it's only crazy if you fail, or what do you say?
Well, like it's you're
Like
only
the podcast, for example. It's only crazy.
Yeah, it's only a delusion of grandeur if it doesn't work.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, you gotta dare to dream. Like,
Yes.
you know.
You have to.
Oh, it's,
You imagine
Right.
little 5-year-old Elon, like, I'm going to put microchips in people's brains. Okay, but
yeah. I want to go to Mars someday. All right, Elon.
Yeah.
All right, keep dreaming.
Go to bed.
that's one thing that, like, the pot, like, when we were all shut down and everything, I think people had a chance to, like, dive in and, like, connect, and you figure out real quickly how important connection is. You know,
Do you know a good way to connect? When you start yours again? I can't remember.
As soon as you buy that microphone for me,
Listen.
buddy.
We got it on Amazon right now. Boom.
You should start one, man. Like, people, like, you're an interesting fucking person.
Yes.
I know, because your job. Like,
Just wait until we lose our jobs. We can really start talking.
Oh my
about some
God,
real shit.
man.
Yes.
I want to say this. I don't want to dream to lose my job, but like,
It's going to be a whole lot more interesting when we're homeless.
Here we are on the sidewalk in a cardboard box.
So what do you think about transcendental meditation? 'Cause right now I'm thinking about turning this refrigerator box I'm living into into a spaceship and flying out of here.
I hate you so much.
We've been there, man.
Mm-hmm.
We're all. I think we're doing all right.
Yeah, no, I'm happy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
dude,
life's a struggle. Life's hard.
having
For
a
everyone.
strong woman to back you, like,
So important. I cannot, like, this is the. I cannot.
I mean, I'm still looking for one. So if you find one,
Articulate that.
like, let me know.
I know.
All right.
I was just at Lowe's looking for a dishwasher.
Yeah.
No. That's terrible. Misogyny.
Oh man.
No, I wouldn't be here without mine.
Your wife is awesome.
Yeah.
She's
We
real
miss
like
her
you. Like, she
too.
should be right.
I
Like,
can't-
she
I know.
plays the
Be
dog.
right there.
We're at
What?
this weird. Well, she's
See?
right there out in
I
the
know.
truck right now.
She is.
Like, we're at
Waiting
this
for the
weird.
time.
Like, I screwed up. We had that third kid. You know, like, that really put a cramp in things.
I just slowed shit down a little bit.
Yeah.
Well,
We were
Oh,
just like
shit.
out of the. She was just saying that to me.
Yeah.
Like, oh, we were just at the point where, like, you could not look at them and they wouldn't die.
Yeah.
And then you had to go and
Yep. Yeah,
we
everyone's
got
like,
another one.
Yeah.
people want us to have one. They say it all
I
the
wanna have a
time.
kid.
Oh, well, you'd have your kid would be awesome.
I would love it.
That's, I mean,
Not that I
that
don't love my kids now.
we were just having that. Dude, what an amazing thing that is.
Yeah.
Like, you can create life.
Yeah.
Like,
Speaking of taking things for granted, there's enough people do that. But
no, you'd have a great, but it's, I mean, I understand why people don't want to have kids, like, but at the same time, I feel like you just don't know.
You don't.
Like,
you don't.
You know, like, okay, 99% of the time is crazy madness, but like
that love is so
that 5 seconds
crazy.
You might get, like, where you just want to take a snapshot and hold on. It makes everything worth it.
Yeah,
it does. 100%.
Yep.
I'm almost done with my drink. I'm gonna have to refill this.
Is that? Oh, that's like just about spent.
You know what we should
have
do?
Another one.
Is we should take that new Striker Steel mini fire pit and go on like a overnighter out in the woods somewhere.
Get a big battery, back up, and do a podcast.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, so fun.
We'll get our
you gotta find a babysitter
out and we
she's
will
going
just
too.
freeze to death,
dude. Yeah.
Cold. I hate
people
baby.
like,
really
this is-
should check out Striker Steel's. He's got a Facebook page.
Yeah.
Yeah, Striker Steel.
Striker Steel.
100%, man.
Wicked cool.
Yep.
I really enjoyed his video of how to put it together because it's so
he
simple.
made one for our podcast.
That was his. I saw that, man, and I was like, because I've done like stuff for TV and stuff and commercials for my job before, and like to put yourself out there, it's like it's so fucking scary.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Scary.
So fucking scary. I
Don't
was
know what you're
nervous
talking
coming
about.
over here.
Were you?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Aw,
like
yeah.
you always like.
Yeah.
You're always worried about what people think.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But like, man, he really nailed that. He did it really well.
He's so
Like,
meticulous.
I'm always
He really
about
did.
like tonality and how you and everything flowed. And I was like, man, for your first, first take, bud. Oh,
you can tell he spent like 7 hours on that.
It was
You're
so
like,
good.
Yeah.
It was
so
really
good.
good.
Dude, he cares so much. Like, I listened to him, like, literally for 2 hours. I asked him about CNC and stuff. And, like, you know, and sober, by the way. I mean, he was sober. I was arguably sober. But he talked so passionately about what he does. And, like, I don't know how he's...
Dude, the crazy thing is like how he explains it and like, anybody can do it.
Yeah.
You know, like you just follow it. I'm like, no, they can't. No, they can't. I have tried, bud.
Yeah.
You should see my fire pit. It's still drying. It's made out of popsicle sticks and Elmer's glue. It's 2 pine cones stapled together.
Yeah. Dude, he's incredible. And like, yeah, because I haven't talked to him since high school. So when I messaged you, but like, you know, like, hey, he said he's talked to you a little bit, and I just wanted your feedback, and like your feedback on him, unfiltered, was just like, yeah, I trust this guy 100%. He's great.
Well, I just think it's cool when anybody like utilizes their creative process, because like I feel like, man, I know like how good that makes me feel.
Yeah.
Dude, I loved my wedding gift that you made us.
Oh my gosh,
that little bench.
Yep.
That thing was.
Well, I'm
was
so
beautiful.
glad you
So
invited
cool.
me, man, because I would have never finished it without it. Like that'd have been something I've been toying with for like a year.
Yeah.
And like, and at that time I wasn't working.
Yeah.
So I was like, I could buy him something, but like, what if I like,
way
You're like, I don't have
Way
money,
cooler.
so
right. Yeah. I could create something instead. And like, I feel like, and since then, like I've actually done a couple other things. I've got this other project, which Travis has actually helped me out on, which I really got to finish.
yeah. And plus, Kyle's doing the backdrop, like a wood backdrop and like table for my podcast and stuff. He just doesn't know it yet. So
Yeah.
he's nodding his fucking head too. So. And, did you see my tag on the Facebook post? I tagged you, and I'm
I just the table.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a table. Like I said, I
That's
got one
hilarious.
commissioned right now. It's a 6-month-long process.
Well, we're
I gotta
waiting,
finish
so
that.
thank you.
Shit. I mean, don't worry about being too intricate in the engraving on it before you do the epoxy. You know,
Right.
I will settle for like a mediocre.
Right, silver leaf is fine. It doesn't have to be gold.
Yeah,
Like, it doesn't even have to be completely gilded.
Yeah.
As long as we got enough USB ports.
Yeah.
You got your phone rigged up right now with Christmas lights. One day we're going to, hey, remember that Christmas light rig?
Yeah.
Don't judge.
From my studio. I'm going to be sitting in my studio. We're going to be talking about it. And at that point, you're going to have something going because you wanted to start a podcast.
Well, you know what? I think if you help me, man, I will.
Yeah. No.
I'd rather be doing this like 1 or 2 nights a week than, time to watch my 47th Facebook video.
Yeah.
Oh, it's tomorrow. Look at that.
Yeah.
Yep. It's so much fun, and it's so rewarding.
Dude, just the humbling things that people say about, like, hey, like, literally, somebody just messaged us. I won't say their name, but you went to school. He's a couple years ahead of us. But yeah, no, he literally is like, hey, dude, like, I'm not even into podcasting. I listen to you guys. And he's like, don't stop what you're doing. He's like, it's awesome. I listen to you guys while we're working. And I was like, and this kid, I never really knew that well. I've always like been on social media, like vice versa. And like, he's got his own business and stuff, just a genuine dude from the outside looking in. And but that little feedback that people say,
it just motivates us like 10 million times more.
Because I have a lot of hard days that people don't know about. I have a lot of days where I'm questioning everything that I'm doing.
The hardest thing, just starting it though.
Yes. Well,
that's I
was going through so much bullshit. I didn't care.
But I mean, like, actually, like, setting down and like, okay, I'm going to commit to this right now.
Yeah.
And like, as soon as you like get into it,
it's so many different things all in one, and especially I think being in front of the camera for me, like, I'm good now, I think, but the first time I'm like, I feel so awkward,
right?
Like weird,
right?
And then this is going online in the whole world. And what are they going to critique and rip apart and stuff?
Everybody's been critiquing my thumbnails. Like because I've had professional editors, had a CEO of a company in Philippines interview us. Like legitimate. I'm LinkedIn friends with this person. They're pretty revered. But anyway, like everyone says the same thing. Like your thumbnails. Like they don't say they suck, but they definitely suck.
Yeah, they do.
What you got to do is like again, like. You got the whole internet at your disposal.
Yeah.
So like you have got the roadmap of like what other people, all you got to do is follow other people's success.
It's funny to say that, literally verbatim, almost.
All you got to do is follow other people's success. Yeah. And like the thumbnails and the marketing thing and like stuff like that. Like I'm going to come to you for help with, cause I haven't with real estate, like, that's starting to take off for me, but like I haven't been marketing myself.
Dude, let me market for you.
Please, because I don't want to just look like everybody, the same canned stuff.
Yeah. Well,
I would, because I am literally if people like want to do paid advertising, I take 100% of the proceeds and I will, I'll send receipts. Excuse me, on like Facebook advertising is powerful. Yeah, and I think $100 gets estimated, and it's based off of how many people react to your content to begin with. So that's how it uses the algorithm. I believe it's like $100 is like 35,000 views because of the base that I've established so far. So like that's a lot of views.
Well, see, like that's where and how important it is to network, man, because you've developed a certain set of skills, and like I see that. So like like your utilization of AI and stuff. You can benefit other people in that regard. So like that's, and with work, that's what I've learned too, is it's like division of labor is your path to success. With real estate, I learned real quickly that like, I don't know jack shit about real estate. So like, how am I going to learn? Right. Yeah. Well, I've got all these associates that I work with that like, I'm working on my first transaction and they've sold $10 million worth of property. Well, why wouldn't I utilize their skill set? So like when it comes to real estate, I've really quickly realized like there's so much more power in division of labor. Like 2 heads are better than one. So I partner with another associate of mine, Marion, and she's fantastic. So like anytime I get a listing or anything, like I know because I work multiple jobs that like when it comes to that, like you need somebody committed to you all the time. Yeah. Right. So like the fact that she can be there when I can't is,
Yeah.
you know.
Dude, there's a lot of people I bet that are going to see this and know that you're in real estate in this area, because I have a lot of connections in this area, and they're going to be like, it doesn't take a lot to know that you're a pretty real dude. And like, people, even if you're not going to benefit anybody more necessarily, like, people want to support people like you.
Well, the thing is, if I don't feel like I'm benefiting you, like I'm not, if I don't get I need that sense of satisfaction to drive me going forward.
Yeah.
You know, so like I really, like I genuinely care about every interaction, and like it's I get paid to shoot the shit with people. What an amazing job. You know, like that's what I've learned about sales is like, for whatever reason, I'm good at it, but it's what makes me good at it is I love that interaction with others, and like, you know, because we don't get that so much these days.
No, we definitely
we're
don't.
so insulated from each other, you know, like I like, it's awesome that like we haven't talked in a month, but like we can pick right up back up where we're at, you know, there's this sense of, you know, we just feel comfortable with each other, you know? But,
and I know you're Amish now, but do you, people probably be like, wait, what? Why? He lives in the middle of fucking nowhere. He lives in the middle of nowhere.
I brought you this butter.
It's only partially melted. But like, if you did start a podcast, which would take nothing for the record, like you don't need. You could.
We could have some freaky deaky podcasts up at the Bangs cabin.
Bangs. It's perfect. The Bangs cast. The Bang cast. What are you gonna name it? It's got to have your last name in it.
My name is a sentence. I don't know. I kind of like, because Melissa and I was like, if I would love to like see like what you guys have right now. Like your kids have grown up a little bit. You're finally like, man, you got each other, and I feel like for everybody sitting at home who's got a partner or whatever, like imagine if you combined your forces, you know, like, dude, our whole society is like, you got to go out and do your own thing. I want nothing more than to like make something with my other half.
Dude, that's this. So like, it's so exciting because of that reason. Yeah. I'm happy you said that.
No, because it makes me think about the words power couple. And we were talking about that before, and it sounds like a negative, like a power couple, you think you're like better than everyone else type of thing, but that's not how we feel about it. Like, we feel like we want to be this strong couple that can help people, right? And broaden, you know, just put positivity out there, and that is why we feel like we're a power couple, if you will.
But there's truth to that. Like, you are stronger. Together.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I'd be a weak.
You are multiple times stronger than the whole is stronger than the sum of its parts. You know, like for whatever reason, when two and like that's you know. And,
she'd be phenomenal on it too.
I know. Yes. She's awesome.
Yeah,
she's awesome.
Yeah, she's pretty
get
cool.
her in here one day. Like, she's currently sitting out in the truck, texting me saying,
"Hurry the fuck up!
I just murdered 2 of the children." And
we're on an hour and 18, so don't feel obligated to
What's
stay.
the longest one?
This might be.
It might be.
Really?
Yeah, it might be.
Not a bad thing.
Can we cut for commercial?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We do whatever.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, you better run out there.
Yeah.
Arrow, stay.
We're back. His wife's been waiting out there for quite a while. We are. He's gonna depart. We're gonna end this episode.
But there will be part 2.
Yeah, and I'll definitely guest on his episode next because he's gonna start a podcast and not talk about it. He's gonna do it.
Yep, he's gonna do it.
I mean, even though he doesn't have internet or electricity because he's Amish, but.
Don't they have stuff that you can like crank power?
Yeah,
Don't you have that?
I'll hook up the people outside to the.
Jump on the bike. Faster.
We're losing the lights. I knew it.
Oh man, but hey, thank you guys for tuning in. Please, for the love of God, I keep saying this, but like. Nobody does it. There's this thing called subscribing, and it doesn't cost you anything. Just do it. It helps so much.
Turn the alerts off if that annoys you. I think people are worried about the notifications and stuff like that, but you can personalize anything.
Yeah, and it's was going to say something. I don't even know what I was going to say. Shit.
Comment, subscribe, like, share,
all that stuff. But the subscribing really helps. I was going to say, I got like...
What happened?
I got like 40 subscribers.
Train of thought.
Yeah, shut that up.
I don't know.
Anyway, you guys have a good night. Take care.
Night, guys.
This is Kyle.
Cheers.
He's going to be starting his own podcast, so...